Angeles at the Staples Center. Thanks for joining us as we get set to bring you NBA basketball on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan, and here with me tonight, Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and Doris Burke reporting from the sideline. So Detroit will get the first possession. And a look at the starters for the Pistons. Jackson and Caldwell Pope, the guards. Andre Drummond is out there with Marcus Morris. And it's Harris in at the small forward. Now here's Drummond, and he gets it to go. Morris has got the game going here with the first basket for the Pistons.
Andre Drummond is a big guy. At the NBA Draft Combine, he measures 7 feet tall with a 7'7" wingspan. And he tipped the scales at 280 pounds. That's a super heavyweight, my friends.
Now we'll go to Doris Burke, who had a chance to talk with head coach Stan Van Gundy.
They'll be up against one of the true giants of the league in Roy Hibbert. And he talked about how impressed he is with Hibbert's dedication to improving his game, saying he's gotten better year after year. And now is one of the guys you have to account for, really at both ends of the floor. Defensively, you've got to get low and try to root him out of the paint. And then on offense, we'll probably look to put him in pick and rolls to test his mobility. Seems like a smart strategy, guys. We'll see how they do.
Thank you, Doris. Here's Caldwell Pope. Harris misses.
Boy, the effort was there, but he just couldn't quite fight his way through traffic.
Kobe goes in. Here's Clarkson. Bryant dishes to Clarkson. Hibbert, the pass to Randall. Here's the three. They get it back. Nice open look, but it's no good.
I tell you what, folks. I bet he won't miss that shot next time he takes it.
And good on the basket. Hook it.
Easy to see who's going to win that race.
Yeah, early offense is often easy offense. Excellent work that time.
Clarkson, and he takes that one up and powers it through.
And really, he epitomizes what a point guard should be. I mean, his skills as a passer might actually be matched by that creativity he shows around the rim.
Well, judging by that jam, Greg, I'd say you're absolutely right.
Boy, that's a nice surge for them just when they needed it in a game that was so tight.
And Kobe Bryant gets the whistle that time. That's his first foul. Here's Jackson. Here's Caldwell Pope. Jackson misses.
Boy, I tell you what, guys, he's an extremely strong finisher. I'm surprised he wasn't able to power that through the defense.
The drive by Russell. Just a bit of an up and down year for the Pistons last season. Had some long winning streaks and some long losing streaks for first-year head coach Stan Van Gundy.
Yeah, Kevin, some would say it was addition by subtraction because they really went on that big run after they released Josh Smith. 7 straight wins for them at one point, and they also did have some giant lulls.
And, you know, those giant lulls were a big part of the Pistons season. I mean, their biggest losing streak was 13 straight losses, and a lot of that you attribute to their defense.
Jackson drives in. Good. Jackson's got his first bucket in this one.
You know, obviously, he knows how to finish with some flair.
To the left wing, here's Clarkson. That one. A little long.
And the Pistons also went into a slump after they traded for Reggie Jackson. 1-9 after the trade deadline. They would end the season on a better note, but truly they were streaky last season.
They shoot again. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. It's going to be on Kobe Bryant. Detroit shooting their first free throws of the game right now. That free throw, no good. And guys, Andre Drummond has made quite an impression in the early stages of his career. Clark, you were just talking about that. Greg, I don't think anyone felt he would have such an impact this fast.
Yeah, I mean, he's already a mountain of a man among boys. I mean, hard to believe when you look at this guy out there. He's only 22 years old. That pass into the paint, that is a work of art there. Dead on target.
Here's Morris. He made that one. Basket number 3 for him. He's also missed 2.
He's having quite the quarter here, guys. I mean, shooting the ball extremely well. Going back to Andre Drummond, some say there aren't any true centers entering the NBA these days. But I look at Andre, I look at DeMarcus Cousins, Joel Embiid, Karl Anthony Towns, and I think to myself, what are these people talking about?
And stolen by Hibbert. Where's this? Passes to Hibbert. It's stolen by Harris. Jackson with it. He feeds it to Harris. Morris a screen. And it's Harris off the drive. It's stolen by Randall. Fast break. The Lakers. And that one good from Clarkson. Clarkson's got 6 points.
Man, can you always depend on him or what to lead you to the right place with that pass? Money. And talking about Andre Drummond, I remember when he fell to number 9 on draft day. All sorts of experts were making excuses as to why. But even then, there was this eerie feeling that some teams had made a huge mistake in passing on him. And that feeling turned out to be correct.
So timeout called here, the first for Los Angeles. Reggie Jackson made some noise about wanting a big contract to be moved last year. Ultimately, he was traded to Detroit.
Yep, Kevin traded from the Thunder to the Pistons, and it actually happened on deadline day.
Here's what the Lakers are going with right now. Bass comes in for Julius Randle, and Larry Nance is subbed in for Jordan Clarkson. Jackson, and the Pistons getting another bucket right there.
Perfect screen there. Set him up with a terrific look.
Yeah, I like the fact that the setup was good, the screen was solid, but you also have to look at the fact that the defender didn't do his job as well as he could have.
And if you go back, remember Jackson struggled with the Pistons last year as well. So the team went on a losing streak as soon as he got there. And Jackson will look for a fresh start this season. I mean, hard to play with all the drama and questions going in your head about pending free agency.
Big part of the problem for the Lakers last year was consistency. Clark, with all their injuries, they had to shuffle the lineup, it seemed, every game.
Well, you know what happened with all that shuffling was they got to see a lot of different players and evaluate them for the future. I think it helped in regards to what they're going to do this offseason. Flying high and throwing down the hard one-hander.
One of his favorite moves right there, guys.
And really, he does that one as well as anyone. Kev, you're right. That's like his signature move once he goes airborne.
Now here's Jackson. It's rebounded by Bass.
And for the Lakers, obviously the big get for them was landing the number 2 overall pick in the draft. Getting a quality big to add to a roster with Kobe is huge. It made them a player, again, I believe, in free agency.
Johnson, a wide open look, and a big bounce off the rim, but it sinks right in. Johnson's got his first points in this one. Jackson against Hibbert. The drive by Jackson. No good with the finger roll. Williams. No good on the buzzer beater. And speaking with Roy Hibbert before the game, he helped illuminate their defensive philosophy.
You want to guard the paint, and some of that has to do with myself.
When you have that sort of focus like Hibbert, that kind of confidence on display on a nightly basis, Greg, you are a game changer, and he does change games every night.
You know, and we saw his skill set and execution develop very rapidly over the course of just a couple years. He worked extremely hard to become the force he is on the interior in this game.
Neither team able to build much of a lead up to this point as we start the second quarter. In a moment now to quickly take a look at the offensive approach for Detroit.
That mid-range shot has been a weapon for them up to this point, fellas.
They've established their presence in the paint tonight. Also, a lot of their scoring to this point coming from down low.
And Detroit looking at who they've got. Marcus Morris is out there with Andre Drummond. Then it's Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. Then it's Jody Meeks. And it's Harrison at the 3 spot. Russell, no luck. Detroit leading by 5. Second quarter of basketball, about 1 minute played so far. Out of bounds, the Lakers will take possession.
And you know what? His mind's playing tricks on him right now because he's not going to live that one down easily.
Some changes for the Lakers. Julius Randle comes in for Brandon Bass, and it's Jordan Clarkson in for Williams. Kobe's shot is off. And, well, Detroit shooting 53% from the floor. They're locked in. That shot by Caldwell Pope, no good. Lakers have gone 0-3 and are still looking for that first bucket here in the second quarter. Deflects the pass. We're about a minute and a half into the second quarter now. And Meeks kicks to Caldwell Pope. Good on the triple. Caldwell Pope's got his second bucket tonight.
He can be a forgotten man in their offense sometimes, but the D still has to keep an eye on him.
And guys, you know, Kentavious Caldwell Pope, this guy screams potential at you. I mean, perfect size and length and speed for a two-guard. He plays both ends. Right now, it's all about consistency for him.
And the Pistons decide to take their first timeout right here. Well, last season, the Pistons didn't reach the playoffs for the 6th consecutive season. They're making progress, but as we can all see, still have a lot of work to do.
Yeah, you know, they were spoiled for a while there. How about going to the playoffs for 1996 to 2009? So it's been a rough stretch here of late, but you get the feeling that the building blocks are in place for another push.
Pistons leading by 6. Let's go quickly over to Doris Burke for an update.
Over that last break, Kevin, I got a chance to hear what Stan Van Gundy said to the team. He made no mistake that their plan was to run their offense through Morris. Coach is looking for big things from him throughout the rest of this game on the offensive end. A lot of the scoring burden will fall on him. Maybe making those early adjustments will give them time to judge their effectiveness by halftime. We'll soon find out, Kevin.
Thank you, Doris. And a little under 2.5 minutes gone by here in the second quarter. Harris against Bryant. Clock at 6. Outside Russell. And it's sent back by Drummond.
And right now they find themselves down on the scoreboard and struggling to make their shots. They need to work on getting into the lane, drive the ball to the basket, get some easier looks that lead to high percentage shots, and maybe they can get back on track.
Here's Caldwell Pope. He's covered by Clarkson. They grab their own miss. Lakers trail by 8. They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Sure could, Kev. I mean, too many empty trips. They need some points.
You always hear about chemistry. That's a perfect example, knowing where each other is at all times.
Here's Caldwell Pope. He's got 5. A three-pointer off the mark.
And this quarter, he has clearly been off the mark.
Some nice passing here by Los Angeles. The 3 from Bryant, and that one's good. Bryant's got himself on the board with 3 there.
Not too much respect shown to him by the defenders.
Closing in on 4 minutes played here in the second quarter. Harris dishes to Caldwell Pope beyond the arc. Randle grabs the board. Randle's got 4 rebounds in this game. Here's Russell, and foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. Lakers were awful in a lot of aspects last season, and their play at home was a major one. Greg, they just couldn't do anything at home, and I think the fans were giving up hope as well.
And given how pricey those Laker tickets are, Kevin, there was a lot to be salty about in Laker land, so can't be a bottom dweller and charge that much for seats.
And the Pistons making a change here. Aaron Baines, he's checked in for Drummond. Tolliver comes in for Marcus Morris. Johnson, he's checked in for Harris. And Reggie Jackson subbed in for Jody Meeks. The Lakers trail. Randle passes to Huertas. And there's a minute 45 left to play in the first half. And pushing it up, here's Los Angeles. Russell kicks to Randle. Now the pass to Williams. Wing shot on the way. No good off the front iron.
You know, the Lakers were a bottom dweller last year. I mean, their home record was 12-29, guys. That was tied for the second worst mark in the NBA.
And, Kevin, they've dialed up their activity this quarter. We're seeing them convert a lot of those second chance opportunities.
Well, the hustle and the effort, the persistence, all of that paying off in a big way. And that's something that makes a coach smile.
Huge hole in the defense that possession. He didn't waste any time cutting through it. And, you know, guys, a lot of the problems for the Lakers at home last season was with their shooting. And they had the lowest three-point percentage in the league at home. Not exactly friendly bounces for them.
4 on the clock. Williams with the steal. And even 3-on-3 break. And that misses. That would have put him up.
Yeah, but you have to love that tough interior defense.
And, Greg, that's exactly what he gives you. I mean, he's constantly making his presence felt around the rim. Boy, they've been leaning on that outside shot a little too much here in the second.
And Clark, it's starting to let him down. They've mostly been off target.
Now, here is Russell. He's got 5, and good on the basket. Booking.
How about that for a response?
Well, it sounded as though, or at least it looked as though it sounded like, we'll give you a 3, and then we'll take it right back.
Johnson can't get it to go. Up in time, and that's not going to go. And we're through.
Gentlemen, I'm here.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, folks. Ernie Johnson here along with Shaquille. It was a closely contested first quarter for Detroit. Their biggest lead during the opening period was 5. All right, that is going to wrap up our halftime report.
And now the start of the second half. Neither side jumping out ahead through the first 2 quarters. You got to like what Jordan Clarkson has done in this game.
And in terms of points in that first half, you know, he's now at a point where we expect him to perform that way.
And, Greg, that tells you all you need to know about what a talent he is. I mean, I'll bet he adds a lot more to his totals after the break.
Now we've got a moment. Let's set the floor. Brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up for the second half. Taking a look at the Lakers. Kobe and Randall, the forward duo. Clarkson is out there with Russell. And it's Hibbert in at the 5 down low.
And guys, when you go to look for holes in the game of Tobias Harris, there really aren't any. One of the hardest workers in our league. If he has any weakness at all, it's his average size speed combo, which most likely will keep him from becoming the perennial all-star type.
On the topic of Tobias Harris, you love that he can contribute in every category of play. He's a solid face-up shooter. Clark, he's getting better with his back to the basket. You can see movement forward all the time.
I love what this young man has shown thus far. You mentioned those things he does. He'll also rebound for you, get loose balls. He does the little things, understands what it takes to win. A consummate pro and team player.
Hibbert dishes to Kobe. Shot's good. Kobe's got his 3rd basket of the night right there.
Nice move and finish. I think the halftime break really gave him a second win.
Jackson passes to Morris. The baseline J. Can't get it to go. Good work defensively by Bryant. Randall kicks to Hibbert. And he converts the layup. Hibbert's got the lead up to 1 now for Los Angeles.
3 for 3, and that's always a good way to start the second half.
Now a timeout called by Detroit. And one feels bad for the way Julius Randle's career started. I was there that night. First game of the season, 7th pick out of Kentucky in the 2014 draft. Suited up for 1 game, broke his right leg 14 minutes in. And the guy that comforted him the most, I recall very vividly, Kobe Bryant stayed with him the entire time when he was really in shock on the floor.
He was, and unfortunately, for so many reasons. For one, he had really been progressing in the summer league, and the Lakers obviously had high hopes for him. And when he went down, that was the start of the rest of the ship kind of going down with him.
And, you know, going back to Randall's rookie year, his troubles really started during medical checkups before the draft. They found a foot injury dating back to high school. The 5th metatarsal had been broken. which may be why he fell a few spots in the draft.
Here's Wirtz. Nance passes to Wirtz. Back to Nance. Passes it to Wirtz. Just 5 on the clock. Again, Los Angeles.
And talking about Randall's rookie injuries, the Lakers were going to let him play through the foot. But once he broke the leg, they did season-ending surgery on the foot as well. Hopefully, now he can just stay healthy and get to play the game he loves.
And it's Drummond with the jam.
How about that fantastic finish and the aggressive move, too, Kevin?
Trying to send a message, Clark, with that slam, I think.
And I'm not sure if it was text or email, but he definitely threw that one down. And that's how it's done. I mean, find that hole in the D and then go hard to the rack.
Maybe that hole was a little bigger than it should have been.
Well, it was. I mean, a tight game like this one, you'd think they'd have a little more energy at the defensive end than that.
And he gets it to go. Morris has got 5 points in the quarter.
Perfect screen there. Set him up with a terrific look.
Yeah, I like the fact that the setup was good, the screen was solid, but you also have to look at the fact the defender didn't do his job as well as he could have. Right back to the basics there, using the one-hand slam for that one.
Doesn't he make the basics look pretty exceptional?
Yeah, he does. They look sweet when he does them.
And he better stay with those basics because this game is still yet to be determined.
Boy, the D has to show a little more fight on the interior than they did on that trip. They've got a battle inside.
This game has been a battle, and maybe they're starting to just ride a gas a little bit.
Meeks, good.
That's how you make an impact with defense. Once the steal is made, you know they're going to be scattered. The floor is open. Take care of business.
Always an advantage when you can get out in the open floor. You get much better rhythm offensively, and this lead, I think, is headed up.
Here's Williams after the basket by Detroit, and Jackson with the block, but he recovers it. Williams' shot is off.
And he's really having all sorts of problems with his jumper right now.
Yeah, big time. I mean, the words that come to mind, ice and cold and disappearing stroke, all would apply.
And that one's good. Drummond. Los Angeles calls timeout.
They've been very untidy with the ball here. You commit turnovers when you try to do too much or you force it. They need to focus on making the simple play, good passes, and moving the ball around.
Brandon Bass is checked in for the Lakers. Kobe comes in for Young, and then for Detroit, Tolliver comes in for Marcus Morris, and it's Johnson in for Tobias Harris. They might be named after a car part, but the Pistons had a rough go of things on the road, Clark. They just I had to use it. They just couldn't stay consistent away from home.
They couldn't. Only won 14 road games, and that number is not enough to get you to the playoffs.
Lakers trail by 9. Shot to stop the run. Nance, no good.
You're not going to see that very often. Plenty of space, but he just, let's face it, he whiffs on that one.
And there's the foul. It's on Brandon Bass. For the Pistons, Aaron Baines comes in for Andre Drummond. And it's Kentavious Caldwell-Pope in for Jody Meeks. .119 left in the third quarter.
Well, he's an undersized center, but he more than makes up for it with some serious leaping ability.
Lakers have gone 6 of 10 from the field in the third quarter. Here's Bass. Good, and it's Russell picking up the assist. Bass has got his second basket of the game.
So far, going for more of an inside game here in this second half, and I like that. A little smash mouth basketball, taking it inside.
Johnson can't hit.
You can't get into much better position for the three than that. Everything was right on target, it just didn't fall.
Russell inside, guarded by Jackson. That one's good, and the Piston lead is cut to just 7 on the basket from Russell.
They've raised their field goal percentage just above 50% here. They actually look like a totally different team than what we saw in the first half. Much better execution offensively.
And he gets it to go. 9 points for Kobe Bryant.
Wow, the floor just really opened up for him on that possession.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all for good offense, but that was just a terrible reaction from the defense.
And it's Johnson again missing. Russell dishes to Clarkson. And Bass kicks to Russell. Pass to Hibbert. Three-pointer. That misses. Would have counted had it gone in. Shots continuing to fall as we conclude the third quarter. Both teams putting up points. Pistons lead by 5. And fourth quarter basketball will be coming your way on 2K Sports right after this. We've got a great game on our hands as we welcome you back. The fourth quarter of action getting started. Pistons leading by 5. And on the floor for Detroit here in the fourth. Jackson and Caldwell Pope, the guards. Marcus Morris is out there with Andre Drummond. And it's Harris in at the 3. Caldwell Pope passes to Jackson. No one near Drummond as he lets it go. And that one comes up a bit short. The drive by Russell. Oh, trying for it. It's stolen by Morris. Here's Caldwell Pope. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2. That's on D'Angelo Russell. Let's look at the energy stats, how the hustle game has been going for the Pistons.
Boy, their hounding, harassing effort at the defensive end, very impressive. And they forced quite a few turnovers as a result.
And also, guys, they take a lot of pride in their ability to rebound the basketball, especially on the offensive end.
Now, here's Bryant, and he gets it to go.
The defense not putting up any fight on the inside. They've allowed 10 straight points in the paint.
That's not the kind of streak you want to be part of defensively. Tighten it up, fellas.
Lakers trail by 5. And it's out of bounds. They say it was last touched by Randall.
I tell you what, that's just a major unforced error right there, guys. My goodness.
The Pistons shooting at 46%, making some buckets. And it's Harris off the drive. And there's Morris. That's good on the assist by Harris. And the Pistons lead by 7.
Nice, accurate pass right into the middle.
Shoots from the baseline, and the Lakers tack on 2 more.
They're on fire from mid-range, guys. They found a weakness in the defense, and they're exploiting it to a T.
And it's not often you see a team as efficient from that short 17, as I like to call it, but it's really worked well for them today. If you're waiting for him to miss when he's that open, you're going to be in for a long wait.
It's Hibbert with the drive, and it's sent back by Drummond. And Harris wide open. He shoots. It's good. The assist this time from Jackson. And now it's a 10-point Detroit lead.
And Marcus Morris is nicknamed Mook. He has a twin brother, older by 7 minutes, named Marquise. Both brothers played at Kansas, drafted 13th and 14th in the same year. Eventually played for the same pro team. That is joined at the hip.
A moment to check in with Doris Burke. Doris?
Yes, during that break, Coach Byron Scott had some words for his team. He was not at all satisfied with their effort levels, saying, we're losing the hustle plays and all the 50-50 balls. We simply can't win that way. We've got to get after it. Let's see how they respond, Kevin.
And looking at the Morris brothers' careers through last season, the one area they haven't been joined at the hip in is in performance. Markieff has shown steady improvement over his first 4 years. Marcus Morris has had a very up and down start to his career.
And, you know, Kevin, Marcus has talent. He has versatility. He just hasn't found his role. It's time for him to step out of his brother's shadow and really establish who he is as a player.
Harris makes it off the glass. Harris has got 11 in the second half.
And they're scoring much more efficiently here in the second half, and they've gotten that field goal percentage above 50.
I tell you what, any team will take that. I mean, if you're shooting over 50%, it means you're getting the kind of looks you want on offense, and you're being smart about it, and you're knocking down the good shots that you get. Take a look at what Clarkson's been doing. He has 8 points, and he's made some good decisions with the basketball, too.
And being smart with the ball like he's been today, Clark, I think it's critical for him and them. He should repeat that every game. And, guys, the Lakers last season were just a completely different team after Kobe's injury. Not so much in results, but just in how they played on the floor. They actually fared better without Kobe than most thought they would.
Now here's Jackson. Harris outside. Kicks it to Caldwell Pope. Dishes it to Morris. 5 to shoot. Top of the key. Can't get it to go. And it's the Lakers the other way. And for the Lakers without Kobe last season, it was really a stark difference in styles of play and quality. No single person, Clark, stepped in to carry their offense. It took a group effort.
Well, you know, it was almost April, Kevin, before somebody surpassed Kobe in field goal attempts on the team. It'll be interesting to see how they build the offense this year.
He's tried to get it going, but the shots simply have not been there. Nothing seems to be falling.
And the call will be against Julius Randle. That is his first foul of the game.
The offense is clicking for him this half. Absolutely clicking. I mean, everything on point and on target.
The Lakers making a switch here. Russell's checked in. Here's Caldwell Pope. "13 feet away. The shot no good. So the Lakers will take it the other way.
And great effort on the boards, and what a move.
Yeah.
That was, Kev. I mean, you just will not see him ever quit on a play.
That guy is a handful. You've got to have a body on him, Clark, at all times.
And you know what? Sometimes that's not even enough. He'll go around, over, or through you to get to the pumpkin.
Now here's Jackson after D'Angelo Russell's miss. And stolen by Hibbert. And here's the fast break. Bryant leading the way. And the slam dunk by Russell.
Quick hands on the steal, and then just mad hops on the slam.
Great sequence for them defensively and Clark offensively.
Well, one usually leads to the other, Kevin. That's just good, aggressive, attacking basketball at both ends.
Detroit with the ball after the basket by the Lakers. Out left to the wing. There's the three. That shot by Caldwell Pope, no good.
Nothing seems to be going down for him today.
Hibbert in the high post. Kobe against Jackson. Back to Hibbert. Outside Bryant. Detroit with the rebound.
A little ambitious on that possession, trying to hit a shot in the face of that defensive pressure.
Lets it go from deep. Harris misses.
Oh, that's a tough three-point try when you've got the defense right there.
Well, he'd have to be really good to knock down a shot like that against that kind of defense.
He dishes it to Jackson. Trying to break that ice-cold streak.
He's been anything but his usual self this quarter. It's actually been ugly to see.
And Kevin, who says a point guard should look to pass first? I mean, not when you can finish like this, though.
Well, Clark, he wasn't going to give that opportunity up to a teammate.
Well, you know, Kevin, that's one he'll always take himself, and he should. I mean, you can't pass up that kind of opportunity or fun.
Drills the three-pointer.
Really just continuing to increase the lead. This one should be easy for the rest of the way.
Yeah, and you know, Greg, at this late stage, a lead like that has a team really feeling quite good about itself, and deservedly so.
Yeah, easy call.
Yeah, you can hear the smack all the way over here where we are.
Taking 2 shots.
And he ends up making the second, and that trims the lead to 6. 24 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. And so they foul intentionally.
That's his first personal foul.
We got 22 seconds left in the fourth quarter. And so they foul intentionally.
That's his second personal foul.
It's the first that makes it a 7-point lead.
2 shots.
And a tough break is his second attempt at the line. No good. To the inside. It's stolen by Johnson. And now the fast break. Meeks with the ball, and that one's good. And the Pistons lead by 9.
Just look at how quickly the lead has grown here over the last few possessions.
Clear case here, partner, of saving their best for last. Quite a run.
And so it's Detroit with the W. And in the win, a comfortable win.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Thank you, Kevin. And now we have the opportunity to present our Jordan Player of the Game, Reggie Jackson, who notched his season high, and his scoring really seemed to set the tempo for his team tonight.
Well, just look at his assists. I mean, that tells the story for the game right there. He was seeing the court so well, always seeming to make the right decision. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
Listen up, everybody. Reggie Jackson, he can bring it. He's got a lot of skills. He can pass, he can dribble, he can shoot. And tonight, he brought them all. He's a dangerous player when he's focused and locked in.
And, folks, that's it for us. Thank you for tuning in. Always a pleasure. For Kenny the Jet Smith, for Shaquille O'Neal.